Hello everybody and welcome to the Kansas Speedway for the NASCAR Cup Series Hollywood Casino 400 presented by ESPN Bet and the round of 12 opener here in our NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. Hendrick Motorsports has once again locked out the front row with Kyle Larson, who is the winner from earlier this year, and Chase Elliott as we are green and underway here in Kansas. Who is going to bring home the victory here in the heartland of the United States? We will find out as it is Larson out front, clear for the race lead already over Elliott and Buescher as they go down to turn one for the first time. They see three wide back here in the middle of the pack between Bowman, Byron, and Truex, a couple of playoff drivers racing for position. Larson clear for the lead, Buescher making his way forward second, Tyler Reddick up there in contention as well as we see Christopher Bell alongside Ross Chastain battling for position. With a clean start so far to this race here in Kansas. Larson and Buescher, of course, earlier in the spring had that unbelievable 1/1000th of a second closest finish in NASCAR history at the line, with Larson just beating the 17, denying him that spot in the playoffs that Chris Buescher would ultimately not be able to get after a couple of upset winners later in the regular season. This time by, can Kyle Larson complete the Kansas sweep for the season? We'll find out as Gregson, Eric Jones, Blaney, a couple of playoff drivers struggling early here in Kansas, not running the way that we would expect them to here towards the front of the pack. As meanwhile back here you got Truex, Bowman battling with non-playoff drivers like Busch, Chastain, and Keselowski, Bell, and Wallace fight positions. Larson has been moved back to about 5th place now as it is Chris Buescher who is taking lead here in Kansas. But here comes the 45 of Tyler Reddick. Reddick on the move, trying to take the lead in that number 45 Toyota. Of course, Reddick still winless this season, even though he was like top 6 in points at the end of the regular season, but missed the playoffs because we had 16 winners, so he had to win to get in. He just couldn't do it, and now Reddick leading here at Kansas, where he won last year over Tyler Reddick here on lap number 4. Now, a few laps later is Denny Hamlin, who is now taking the lead away from William Byron, who had it for a second there. On to lap 11, it is Denny Hamlin, the number 11 FedEx Toyota, leading this field. But here comes the 17 of Chris Buescher to the inside. Buescher looking for the lead here in Kansas, and he will take it. Buescher to the point ahead of Hamlin and Larson here in Kansas. Buescher trying to play playoff spoiler once again. Now into lap 12, it is Larson back out front here in Kansas. We know how strong Kyle Larson is at these intermediate racetracks, and anywhere we go on the schedule is continuing to show that, why he's the favorite for the championship as he leads the way early here in Kansas. Now a few laps later, it's Chris Buescher in the race lead on lap 24, approaching lap 25 here, but here comes that 11 car, Denny Hamlin, so good here at Kansas, hasn't finished outside the top 10 in years, and now he's going for the race lead on the inside of Chris Buescher here in stage 1. Hamlin, who survived the round of 16, of course in real life after a disastrous start to the round, scraped by to keep his hopes alive. Here he did just fine in that first round and is continuing that today, leading laps. And now we look at the 9 of Chase Elliott, who is taking the lead in his Universe Chevrolet on lap 33 with a good gap over Hamlin. How about Elliott now trying to get a win here in Kansas? Elliott's been strong this season, but Denny Hamlin coming right back on him on the inside lane at turn 4, and now Hamlin will take the lead back on lap 34. A very competitive race here in Kansas, but the caution has come out here about on lap 54, so about 20 to go on the stage. The yellow comes out, and now it's Hamlin and Elliott side by side for the lead on the restarts. We are back underway here in Kansas. Truex and Reddick behind them in 3rd and 4th. Of course, Larson still lurking there 5th. 3 wide for 6th. Byron, Chastain, and Bowman duking out for position. Of course, Bowman's had really good runs here in Kansas the last couple of years. Byron's been strong, of course, all season. He's been very consistent. Chastain, he's won 3 times this season, but got knocked out in the first round because he just had an awful round of runs, and this didn't work out for him. Truex took the lead. Now it's Chase Elliott back to the point here on lap 57 here, and now he's 3 wide with Reddick and Hamlin as they continue to battle for the lead, but that's back for 3rd place actually, as it is for 2nd rather, as Martin Truex Jr. has retaken the lead here in Kansas, the 19 in his final Kansas race, having a strong performance. Now Denny Hamlin takes the lead here, about 10 to go in stage 1. No surprise at all. Denny Hamlin just so strong here in Kansas, looking to continue that. Now here comes Kyle Larson with just 6 to go in the stage. Larson trying to find a way by the 11 of Denny Hamlin for the race lead as they go into turn 1 and 2. These are the 2 who finished 1, 2 here in our universe in the spring. A banger finish right there. Hamlin closing in, just ran out of time, couldn't get by Kyle Larson, who was the man who won that race, and he also beat Denny head-to-head in Nashville. We'll see what happens here in Kansas. Hamlin looking to drive away there from Larson. Now coming to just 2 to go in stage 1. Larson gets a good enough run. He gets to the inside of the 11, and Larson now going to be side by side for the lead, looking for the stage, winning the all-important playoff point as they go side by side into turn 1 for the race lead. Hamlin on the outside, Larson on the inside, Elliott lurking in third, Chastain closing in fourth. They are still side by side, the 5 and the 11, having a tremendous battle for the stage win here in Kansas. Hamlin holding his own on the outside lane, just side drafting. Larson gets a big run, and they will continue to battle it out. Last lap of the stage, Hamlin leads that lap, but Larson right there on his left rear quarter panel. Chastain working the inside lane. Truex has joined the battle, and Hamlin has a terrible turn 1. Drops from the lead down to third, and out is Larson leading Chastain. If Larson can hold on for a half a lap, he will have another stage win on the season and another playoff point to his growing totals. Out of turn 4 for the final time this opening stage. It is going to be Kyle Larson with the last lap pass, winning stage 1 in Kansas. Chastain second, Truex, Hamlin, Elliott the top 5, followed by Reddick, Byron, Gregson, Gibbs, and Bubba Wallace the top 10. Shout out Noah Gregson in 8th. So Kyle Larson gets a stage 1 win, adds another playoff point and 10 points to his total. Great start to the round so far for him. Now Ross Chastain has taken the lead away here on the restart. It's Chastain now leading over Larson and Hamlin, who have clearly been the 2 best cars all race long so far. How about Noah Gregson in the 10 car running in 4th right now? Having a tremendous run for Stewart-Haas Racing, advanced to the round of 12, trying to keep the dream alive. Your Daytona 500 champion Gregson is. He's having one heck of a run here as now he drops back a bit behind Bowman and the Gibbs cars of Truex and Hamlin. As Bowman is in the 3rd now, pressuring Larson for 2nd. How about that 48 car having a good run today here in Kansas? His 1 win this season in our universe was at the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte. As is now Chastain leading Larson, though, got a run on him. Larson trying to take that lead away from Ross Chastain. Can't quite do it. Chastain holds on to him for now. Caution on the racetrack. Justin Haley in the 7 is destroyed, but the 9 of Chase Elliott is involved. Playoff implications here in Kansas for the 9 of Elliott. He goes crashing with Justin Haley into the outside wall in turn 3, and Elliott, who is so strong in stage 1 in the top 5, has heavy damage here at Kansas, and this could be detrimental to his hopes of advancing to the round of 8 and keeping his championship hopes alive. But Justin Haley, his first race back with Spire Motorsports in the 7, unfortunately ends with a last place finish as he will wreck out of this race. Haley done for the day. Elliott still in the race and on the lead lap, but all the way at the back of the line with damage as Hamlin will beat Bowman on the restart, and it is now Hamlin back to the race lead here in Kansas to no surprise. We know how strong the 11 has been, especially here at Kansas over the last couple of seasons. Runner-up finished 1st and 2nd in the 2 races last year, so he is just so good here at Kansas. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets another win here as Hamlin leads, Larson 2nd, Busch and Bowman duel it out for 3rd, but it's Denny Hamlin driving away at the race lead here in Kansas in stage 2. But now Larson back to the point, but Hamlin going to fight back to the inside of Kyle Larson here on lap 121. So about 45 to go in the 2nd stage of racing. It remains the 11 and the 5, the class of the field. Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin continuing to put on a show at the front of this field. Another banger here in Kansas as these two battle it out for the race lead. Hamlin to the point, gets back around the 5 of Kyle Larson. Hamlin now in control, 20 to go in stage 2 here. Larson 2nd. These two are going to cycle out to the race lead. They just made their green flag pit stops. You see everyone making their way out of pit road. Larson now trying to make the pass on Denny as they go down the backstretch. A little bit of a stack up. And the caution's out on the racetrack. The caution lights are flashing. There has been trouble, or so there's a slow car. Looks like it's the 44 of JJ Yaley who got dumped by Joey Logano in turn 3 and 4, and the caution comes out because Logano wrecked Yaley, and that is going to really screw things up in the running order. Right in the middle of a green flag pit cycle, Logano dumps Yaley, and the tough day for the 44 team continues. Logano is a little bit frustrated after being out of the playoffs in that first round. So it looks like it'll be Larson beating Hamlin back to the line. I think that'll be the race for the lead when we get back underway here, and I believe it is as we watch the 14 of Chase Briscoe, who just blew an engine on the restart. The 14's engine just grenaded going into turn 2, and Chase Briscoe is done for the day here in Kansas. That is an engine failure. And that'll bring out the yellow flag as Larson leads Hamlin. Briscoe's engine unfortunately relegates him to a 37th place finish. So Briscoe and Haley out of the race so far. It is now Larson and Chastain battling for lead. Chastain's been strong all race long in that one car, and he is continuing to pester Kyle Larson for the lead. Truex, Wallace, and Bell 3 wide for third behind them. But Chastain trying to get this race lead away from Kyle Larson. They continue to battle side by side as they go down into turn 1. Chastain to the point here in Kansas. He will take the lead away from Kyle Larson. Christopher Bell in the 20 is trying to unlap himself right now. He was trapped a lap down because of the timing of that caution. In the middle of the pit lane, well, Denny Hamlin, what are you doing? Hamlin has come down pit road from a top 5 position and just thrown away any chance at a stage points, which is really going to hurt him in the playoffs and even maybe even a top 10 finish here. And oh, now we cut to trouble. Chase Elliott, heavy damage. Smoke pouring out the rear of that car. Daniel Hemrick is wrecked. Chase Elliott, playoff contender, is wrecked. Josh Berry is destroyed. Eric Jones is destroyed. William Byron's got heavy damage. And all of a sudden, just like that, 3 playoff drivers are going to be knocked out of this race in the blink of an eye right before the end of stage 2. It will be Eric Jones, who is the bottom, the 12 seed, coming in out in 34, so he'll have an uphill climb at Dega and the Roval to try to advance. Byron out in 33rd and Elliott out in 32nd. So a shocker there. 2 of the dominant Hendrick cars, Chase Elliott and William Byron, out of this race, and going to be most likely below the cut line and going to have their work cut out for them if they want to advance to the round of 8. So, very dramatic turn of events here at the end of stage 2. It is Truex taking lead. It's a 2-lap shootout to end stage 2. It is Martin Truex Jr. leading this race. Ty Gibbs is in second. Larson is in third. So, Truex now trying to steal the stage from Larson right at the end, as Larson did not have a good restart and is continuing to lose positions. Ty Gibbs up to second. Chris Buescher into third. A couple of non-playoff drivers trying to play spoiler today. As you see Priest going extra slow across the line right there, just limping around the racetrack. He's got damage. But as they come back to start-finish line, Martin Truex Jr. is going to win Stage 2 here in Kansas, continuing some positive momentum after the Bristol win. Gibbs, Buescher, Reddick, Keselowski, non-playoff drivers are now the top 5. Larson 6th, Bowman 7th. 8th place going to be Joey Logano, Kyle Busch 9th, and the final stage point goes to Chastain in the 1. So Larson, Bowman, and Truex, the only playoff drivers getting stage points there. As we get back underway in the 3rd and final stage of racing, 97 to go. It is Ty Gibbs now taking the lead away from his JGR teammate of Truex, of course, in his final season of Cup Series competition. Truex having a strong run all day long. Ty Gibbs has been lurking, and now Ty Gibbs finally leading his first laps of the day here in Kansas. We know how strong Ty Gibbs has been on these intermediate tracks all year, been top 5 to top 10 car most of these races, and showing that once again, leading laps here in Kansas. But now it is the 17 of Chris Buescher taking the lead back here in Kansas. Of course, he was so close to victory here in the spring. He wants redemption desperately to that victory, but here comes the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. to the inside, and Truex will take the lead away from Buescher here in Kansas with that pass. And the 19 is driving like he wants to win a championship in his farewell tour. And out is the 5. No surprise, Kyle Larson back to the point, leading the way here in Kansas on lap 180. But here comes Ty Gibbs once again with the crossover move. And Gibbs now going to drive back into the race lead. He's able to cross over the favorite Kyle Larson, who's been dominating this race. It is now Gibbs to the point. A few laps later, here comes Ross Chastain with just 61 to go. Chastain will take the lead away from Ty Gibbs here in Kansas. Non-playoff drivers looking to be a huge spoiler here in Kansas. But here comes the 11 of Denny Hamlin to the inside of Gibbs. Hamlin trying to unlap himself after that pit stop at the end of stage 2. He lapped himself, and now he's going to unlap himself if he can drive around Ross Chastain right here. And what he needs is a caution, and I think the tower sees some debris on the racetrack in turn 1, so they're going to throw the caution, and that will get Hamlin back on the lead lap as Truex leads over Larson at the line. So Hamlin back in the game here in Kansas with just 57 to go. How far can he drive up from all the way at the back of this field, as it is now Truex and Larson once again in the lead, leading us back to the green flag. The 5, a great run through turn 1 and 2. Don't count out Chastain in the 1. He's right there behind Larson as well, looking to make something happen as Larson takes the lead for now, but Chastain right to the inside, an aggressive move for the lead into turn 3, and Chastain will take the lead away. Here comes Rowdy Busch in the 8. Don't count out Kyle Busch now. That 8 car has been a top 10 car all day long, is now making his push right at the end of the race, and he will take the lead away from Chastain. Kyle Busch to the lead, trying to finally get that win and keep the winning streak alive, but he is a few laps later, he has lost that lead. It is now Chastain back to the lead, and here comes Kyle Larson underneath Ross Chastain with just 41 to go. Larson trying to lock himself into the round of 8 with a Kansas season sweep here. Can he do it? We will see as he takes the lead. Ty Gibbs drives into second by Chastain, and now Larson with a comfortable gap, and now coming to just 27 to go. Larson stuck behind Preece and lap traffic, and Chastain will now take the lead back. And continuing the swapping of the lead, a lot of lead changes in a very competitive playoff race here in Kansas. A great battle as Chastain leads now with just 26 laps to go, trying to upset the playoff field here in Kansas. Now just 22 to go. He leads over Larson, and look who has found his way up into third. Denny Hamlin in the 11 from a lap down, as far down as 19th, has driven his way back up into the podium in third place. Now late in this race, Larson now trying to make the pass on Chastain with 18 to go here in Kansas. Larson knows his opportunity. This is his shot to get into the round of 8. He doesn't want to go into Talladega not locked in, and he makes the pass on Chastain. Larson to the lead with just 18 to go here in Kansas. Can he bring home the victory? Now we want just 6 to go. Chastain is there on the back bumper of Larson, trying to upset and steal Larson's spot in the round of 8 here with a win to spoil the playoff field. The race after he got eliminated from championship contention, that one car is showing just how strong he has been and why he should be here in the round of 12 contending to advance to the next round. But not quite. They catch up on Corey LaJoie in the 51. Larson to the inside just makes that move work by LaJoie. Now just 5 laps to go. It is the 5 of Larson leading the 1 of Chastain. They continue to battle for the race lead, but Larson pulls away. Now just 3 to go. Here comes Chastain trying to make a move for the lead. Look out for Ty Dillon. Larson somehow sneaks by the 16 on the inside lane, maintains the lead. He is driving insanely aggressive right now, trying to maintain this lead. And now he goes by Kaz Grala into turn 3, trying to work on the lap car, and Nemechek, and Grala blocks Chastain. Chastain stuck behind Kaz Grala in lap traffic, who was runner-up last week, and now Larson gets by the 44 as well. Now he tries to work by Nemechek. Just 2 to go here in Kansas. Larson negotiating lap traffic perfectly here at the end of this race. Chastain now double blocked. Exactly what Larson wants to see as he drives away to victory and a spot in the round of 8 here in Kansas. Chastain put up a valiant effort, but it looks like he's going to come up just short as Larson is about to lap Joey Logano in 12th place. White flag in the air. Final lap presented by Credit One Bank in Kansas for Kyle Larson. He has been the man all year long, your regular season champion, about to get his 3rd win of the season and a season sweep here in Kansas as he drives by Joey Logano. Puts him 1 lap down. Chastain still trying to work up, but the lap traffic has just cost Chastain the win. And through turn 4 for the final time, Kyle Larson will win at Kansas, sweeping the season at the racetrack and locking himself into the round of 8. He is 1 step closer to fighting for championship. His 25th career win comes here in Kansas. Chastain was 2nd. Hamlin bounces back to finish in 3rd. Truex 4th, Gibbs rounds out the top 5, followed by Buescher, Gregson with an incredible 7th place run, Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, and Alex Bowman in the top 10. So a great run for the 5 of Kyle Larson. He controls the final stage of this race. He's able to hold off Chastain through lap traffic. He gets the win, and he locks himself into the round of 8 and is now so close to being able to fight for that 2nd championship as you see your final race results. Denny Hamlin came back from a lap down to finish 3rd. A very good point stay for he and Martin Truex coming home in 4th. How about Noah Gragson? And Stewart-Haas Racing's final season gets a top 10 to start off the round of 12 in 7th, and you never know what can happen at Talladega And then, of course, Bowman gets a solid another top 10 for him here in Kansas. Then you see Wallace, Bell, Blaney, McDowell just outside the top 10 and inside the top 20. And then Elliott, Byron, and Jones wrecking out. The big story, those three going to be in really tough spots going to Talladega next week, which is going to be a wild race. As your updated playoff grid, of course, Larson locked in the next round with the victory. Truex, Hamlin looking really, really good on points. Bowman and Bubba Wallace just don't make any mistakes the rest of the round, and they're looking all right. Noah Gragson at +9 above the cut line right now. Great situation for him after the way the last round ended. And then Christopher Bell, your defending champion, +7. Ryan Blaney back above the cut line, 2 points above Chase Elliott, who has to fight his way in from below, as does Byron, out by 9, and Byron out by 8, and McDowell by 8 below the cut line. And then Eric Jones, already 24 below the cut line, probably in a must-win at Talladega if he wants to advance to the round of 8. And before the episode, as always, I want to give a shout-out to my channel members. So thank you very much to Brenda Breen and Jeremy Isley. I really appreciate your guys' support. It means a lot and helps this channel do great things. If any of you viewers want to become members as well, you can click the join button or the link down in the description down below. You'll get access to exclusive perks such as early access to my videos, members only polls, and your name on a paint scheme in the NASCAR Heat 5 Season 3 finale. So until next episode, I hope you all have a good one.